I've never said this before, and it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but I genuinely think it actually hurt my career in a real way because I was poorly received in something so public. All right, with all the Superman talk right now, naturally, I mean the timing of this. Jesse Eisenberg, of course, had his new movie. Can't exactly remember what the hell it was, but he was just on a recent interview with the Armchair Expert when it comes to Dax Shepard. You know, when it comes to Jesse Eisenberg and his Lex Luthor, look, you guys know that Batman vs Superman is one of my all-time favorite superhero movies. You know, when it comes to a DC superhero movie, I mean, let's face it. To me, it's top tier. It's fucking top tier. I know, like, when it came to Jesse Eisenberg, and I still remember when he got cast, I think they announced him and Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. They announced that at the same time. I remember it was like January of 2015, 2014. I don't know. And when Jesse Eisenberg was announced, it was like, what? That's a random choice for Lex Luthor. But at the same time, in Zach we trust. I think a lot of it had to do with Jesse Eisenberg's performance in The Social Network. If we take like that kind of approach to Lex Luthor in a modern day, a young Lex Luthor in a modern day social media startup type of way, let's take that approach and we'll add a little birthright Lex to it with the hair and everything like that. We don't have to have him bald at first. He'll get to bald. You know, we're going to do that whole thing where you do a characterization. And yeah, and I get it. There's a lot of people that just didn't like his performance. Thought it was a little too quirky, a little too weird. I'm not one of those. I'm not one of those for sure. But yeah, he said right here, in this interview right here, I was in this Batman movie, and the Batman movie was so poorly received that I was so poorly received, Eisenberg said. I've never said this before, and it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but I genuinely think it actually hurt my career in a real way because I was poorly received in something so public. I've been in poorly received things that just don't see the light of day, but for the most part, no one knows. But this was so public, and I don't read notices or reviews or movie press or anything, so I was aware of how poorly it was received. I mean, yeah, I get it. Like, coming from me, who loved his performance in there and thought he was a unique Lex Luthor and understood what was going on in there, I could see what happened. I could see why that's the case. I can see why that's the case. I've talked to numerous people who were just like, yeah, I didn't understand it. I didn't get that performance. I didn't understand it. It didn't gel with me. It's just the way it is, you know? And instead of like, you know, getting upset for people not understanding it, don't get upset, people. Don't get upset. There's nothing to be upset about. It's like, if you enjoyed it, fine. There's nothing wrong with that. You enjoyed it, that's good. You understood that, that's fine. But don't look down on people like that didn't understand it. That's what happens a lot when it comes to fandom now. A lot of people like to look down on others. Like, really? You like that stuff? It's just one of those performances, one of those villain performances that I think, like, as the years go on, it's just like, I mean, it's already starting to happen when it comes to Batman vs Superman, that it's already becoming a cult classic. I don't know, like, again, you know, when people revisit the Ultimate Edition, they go, oh, I get this movie. It's like, yeah, that extra half an hour really helps, doesn't it? It really helps. It really does help. So